Hello class, today we're going to be doing the challenge assessment for Unit 5 masking. I'm going to go ahead and start by opening up my image that I would like to have as my background. In this case, I will be choosing a cutting board type for the food unit. Now that I have this selected, I notice that my tools aren't on the left, so I'm going to go into Window and select Tools. Sometimes they just like to disappear. I'm not 100% sure why. Anyways, the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to move Kaltura over here so I can have access to this area. And I'm going to go ahead and create a copy of the background by dragging it onto the symbol over here. Now that I have a copy of the background, I'm going to go ahead and go into the channels. And now that we're in the channels, we're going to hold Control and click on the RGB thumbnail picture. And this selects some of the image. Now we are going to go back into layers, make it so the original background is set to invisible. We're going to click on this half circle and click on solid color. Now this is going to change the color of our background, and I'm going to make it a more vibrant orange-red. Now that we have that, we can add another color, solid color layer under it. I'm going to make it green. And then we can put this solid color under the one we just selected, and that creates a nice two-color background. You can do this with two colors just because this one has just the selected background that you chose. Now that we have our background set, we're going to go ahead and start editing our three pictures to be in the windows. I'm going to go ahead and open up my File Explorer. I'm going to start with the first stake. And I'm going to just see how. So the thing is about, our canvas is about 41 inches. So I'm going to make a fairly large mask for these. So the first thing I want to do is make sure it's selected, and I'm going to select a square of it. I'm going to go about here and make it about 10 inches tall. I'm going to make it about, I'll go 8 inches. So I'm going to make 8 by 10 rectangles, as close to it as I can get. Now that I have this area selected, I'm going to go into the bottom right under the layers and click on the Add Mask. It's the square with the circle in the middle. And this creates the first mask I want. Now that I have this, I'm going to unlink it so that I can move the picture underneath. I'm going to go to the Move tool, and now you see I can move the image underneath. Since the image is just a little too big, I'm going to go into free transformation mode, which you can select by pressing Ctrl T, or you can go into Edit, and then it's right here. Now, one thing you want to do while using free transform tool is make sure the transform doesn't decrease the size of the mask, because you see you can decrease the mask size if it's outside of the free transform. So I'm going to be very careful to not do that. That seems to be the best I can fit it in with the image I got. So now I'm going to do the same thing for another image. Going to go into my File Explorer, and I'm going to pull the second one in. Now for this one we want the same selected mask as we did for the first picture. So I'm going to go ahead and relink the two so I don't mess up what I've already made. I'm going to hold Control and click on the mask portion, and that selects this area. Now that I have this area selected, I'm going to make sure I'm in the rectangular marquee tool. I'm going to move it to the right. It's about 8 inches, there's 42. So I'm going to move it about 11 inches to the right, and I'm not changing the height of it at all. Now that we have this selected, we make sure we're on our new image state plotter, and we add a mask again. As you see, this creates another rectangular that is the same size as the first one. Now we can repeat the same process to make sure our image is the way we want it. I'm going to focus on one slice of this cooked steak. I'll go with 2. Make that the focus of our image. Now I'm going to make sure it's linked now that I have it how I want it. And lastly, we're going to do the third picture. This picture is fairly larger, so it's going to look a little bit different in the rectangle, but that's fine. So I'm going to Control, click, go to the marquee tool, move this over, make sure that the height and the end is 0. And I think I moved over 11 inches. More than likely I'm going to go back and adjust the distance in between each picture. But I'm fairly certain I chose 11 last time. So now I'm going to go and do the same thing. Click on Add Mask Layer as I'm selected on the new picture. Now I'm going to unlink it so I can move it. I'm going to go ahead and go straight to the, make sure I have the picture selected. Going to Edit, Free Transform. Make sure I'm not losing any of the mask. Now that I have it free transformed, I'm going to move it up a little bit to get it to look like that. And now that I have the 3 windows, I see there's a little bit of space to the right. So I'm going to move them all over to the right 1 inch. And I think I can do a little more, so I'm going to go 1 more inch to the right. So just to see, I have 5 inches in between these two, and I have 3 inches in between these two. I'm just pressing Ctrl Z to put it back where I had it first. So to fix this, I'm going to move this over 2 more inches. So now all of our pictures are equally spaced apart and the same size. And that'll be all for this player's unit. Thank you for watching.